Paul Atkins. Is he really that good for the ecosystem? The XRP ETF, which should soon become a reality very quickly. $15 for XRP and Bitcoin at 70K? Is that really conceivable? Ha, that even rhymed. And besides, let's take a look. Paul Atkins. We've all learned in the past few weeks, yes, let's applaud, yes, we'll do that, he's nominated. But is he really that good for the ecosystem? What is his background? You'll know it after this video. In this sense, all the facts after the intro. Peace out. Today's video is brought to you by BitMEX. This exchange has been around since 2014. You can trade with over 30 cryptocurrencies. And if you want to secure a €25 bonus now, then check out the description. Here's the sign-up link. I want to start this video on a positive note. Since Bitcoin is definitely, losing a bit of its value. By the way, that's completely different with XRP. I'll get to that in a moment. Definitely, this image completely shook the cryptocurrency world and has, of course, been highly praised. But what I want to point out here briefly is what most people don't really have on their radar. Of course, it wasn't just Brad Garlinghouse, but also Stuart Alderodi is also here. At least he stands next to Trump in the picture. Which means that this dinner probably had some legal implications, which could be quite positive in terms of the SEC and the lawsuit. But those aren't the only news. I can tell you this much. Let's keep going right away. I have some news about RLUSD. However, let's take a quick look at Bitcoin again. Before we do that, I want to thank you briefly. It's really amazing how many clicks each video gets. No matter from which areas, how many new subscriptions are coming in, what your support is. I've just noticed that many people who are still watching the videos haven't subscribed yet. So if you want to support this channel as well, feel free to subscribe. Also, feel free to activate the bell. That's a complete subscription, so you won't miss any important news. And also, if you like this video, feel free to leave a like. It helps boost the algorithm. Of course, feel free to leave a comment. And with that, thank you very much. Let's dive in, and right off the bat, we can say, so the weakening Bitcoin since yesterday or the day before yesterday, that doesn't really affect XRP at all. Even if we take a quick look at the heat map, Bitcoin is down nearly 3%, while XRP is not even down 1%. And I want to give you something else to think about, because if you look at it, there has been a clear downward trend with Bitcoin. I've mentioned it repeatedly in the past videos, also in yesterday's. And even if it didn't get that many clicks this time, I can give you the tip: watch. You can see it if you don't want to lose money. Feel free to click in here. Definitely, you saw it here. Those were the individual liquidation points where the market makers were able to pick up some serious cash. By the way, don't forget, today is not an official trading day. As for the spot ETFs, because it's a holiday in the USA, that means the market makers could still play around a bit. And if you take a look at this right now, it seems like we're heading towards 91,000, 91,500. Somehow go down here and then back up again. But that's just a pure tendency. No one has a crystal ball, no one knows, no investment advice. So much for that. But you can also see here, a lot of liquidity has built up at the top. And it's certainly quite conceivable that many are going back in through leveraged charts here and then get beautifully liquidated again. If it goes back up here again, but the way up looks pretty bright. But that's it for Bitcoin. We're back to Ripple because that's what this video is about. What can we read here? So, can we read anything from the chart formations? So, just the chart formation? I'll get to the news in a moment because you always have to keep in mind the chart reacts to the news. Even if some are just pulling out the chart metrics here, what we still have is our triangle, where we are clearly moving within. Now, of course, the big question is, when could the breakout happen? What if we look a bit further into the future? Here, at the 20. Then we would have the inauguration of Donald Trump. Now, of course, you can also say that there could be some big shoes before that. For example, if nothing happens by the 15th, nothing happens here because the SEC has to appeal. By the way, I have some news about that too. However, I also have another chart pattern for you, and this double bottom that has formed here. You can also see it from the past. There was an immense increase. It was exactly the same here. Now it gets interesting. What results from that? So, as I said, we need the news for a market, for a chart to react. It's definitely a bit of hype, but if it suddenly came out that the SEC is actually right after all, and Ripple is completely convicted, and XRP is classified as a security, well, then we could have bullish signs here, as we want, then the chart would crash. And so, directly onto the SEC, or rather, to the preferred candidate of the crypto space, Paul Atkins. By the way, he hasn't agreed yet to take over from Gary Gensler. However, it is assumed that he will follow Donald Trump's nomination. But who is this person in the background? So, many people praise him quite highly. And as a result, there are even more people who praise him a bit now because of the praise from others. But is he really that good for the cosmos? Let's take a quick look at his resume. Between 2002 and 2008, he rose to become one of the 5 SEC commissioners under the Bush administration. After Bush, then he moved on to the private sector and founded what you see here, Pertamac Global Partners. That's a consulting firm for all sorts of regulatory questions, which in turn, and now it gets interesting, since 2018 has been very, very focused on the crypto area. In my research, I found something quite interesting. Apparently, Pertamac was already involved in 2019 on behalf of the asset manager Wenek for the launch of Bitcoin ETFs. Active. He was also active for the lobbying group, the Digital Chambers, where he has been leading the initiative since 2017. Token, billions. But it should also be clear, Atkins doesn't give a free pass to the entire crypto space, just a free pass. So what seems to be quite important to him? That's investor protection. So even in the 90s, when he was still active as a lawyer, he went after quite a few frauds. Here we have the disclosure of probably the biggest Ponzi scheme and success in his career. So we're talking about a damage of nearly $1 billion, and that would be the Bennett Funding Group. For everyone out there wondering, hey folks, wouldn't believe it. But Ponzi schemes existed even before. Crypto. So all in all, you could say that Atkins could definitely play a significant role in this, especially since we've now also seen how close, again, Brad Garlinghouse is too. Ripple, the new US president, is standing. And that brings us right to the next topic, the ex-welter. So Monica Long, she recently gave an interview to Bloomberg and explained here, well, I really believe in that. That this ETF is coming relatively soon, and now it gets exciting. Directly followed by Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we're not talking about a Solana ETF here, or whatever wild plans are out there. Those are definitely some bold goals. However, it's worth mentioning that this could actually happen because the regulatory framework around XRP is definitely clearer now. Or rather, it's been clarified more cleanly now that this SEC ruling might finally be coming to an end. Yes, and that compared to Solana, Solana is still in a completely different place and much further behind. So it's definitely conceivable, since there have already been some asset managers have registered. Yes, we want an XRP ETF. By the way, BlackRock is currently not involved in that. They want to clearly focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum, or rather on this hybrid form that are supposed to come here. And if one or the other Ripple fan has fallen into wild ecstasy here and thinks, wow, it can't get any crazier. Well, possibly. Because in the interview, it went on to discuss the RLUSD. And here they were talking about the biggest exchanges that are being targeted shortly. So we're talking about Coinbase or Binance. And we've all noticed that now. So I need to double check if this information is really accurate. But there seems to be a burning process for XRP when the RLUSD is traded on the ledger. Either way, it logically means that you need XRP to carry out the transaction on the ledger. That's when it gets really interesting, when the RLUSD starts moving accordingly, and also ramps up the corresponding trading volume. So I just recently talked about that too. That, for example, the PayPal stablecoin has already been surpassed. If you haven't seen the video yet, click in here, but those are definitely bullish signs. And yes, I can kind of understand it. With all the bullish news, it feels like some important information gets overlooked. At some point, it's just too much. I still try to keep this video as neutral as possible because I often see a lack of rationality among many XRP supporters. And you really have to be able to talk about it openly. However, what really is a strong statement, Ripple signed more US deals in the last 6 weeks than in the past 6 months. You can see this. Public regulatory clarity. Be it the election by Trump, Gary Gensler leaving, and so on. And what the companies behind it are hoping for now. It's clear that Ripple gains the use case as more and more deals are being made. That more and more people want to work with Ripple. On the other hand, you have to say that you need XRP for all use cases. I doubt it. However, even if only a part of it is implemented, that's already significantly more than what we've had in the past. That's fact. And what we've also recently noticed, that Ripple is now focusing much more strongly on the USA again. And for example, 75% of all open positions have been advertised in the USA. So you can also see there where, yes, the exodus caused by Gensler and co., it was, they say now, let's tackle it and now strengthen our own economy. This should also motivate Trump quite a bit. And so we come to the question of all questions. And I'll say right away, no one has a crystal ball. No one can say, will we reach 500 billion US dollars? So we're talking about roughly, currently there's a profit of 260% and a price target of around $6.40. Please don't forget at this point, we don't know how much XRP will come onto the market in the meantime through Ripple, which of course has the consequence that the whole thing is a bit diluted. I've already talked about this. I just want to clarify it again here. Definitely, there are various scenarios that you can see here. Here are breakout possibilities, this half-mast flag that is being talked about. This could be a bullish or a bearish event. Something should slowly start to happen now. And here it means that XRP can quickly rise above 2.45 and the long-term target could be $15. That's, of course, a statement. As I said, it's the news that are crucial, which in turn causes the price to react. And now I'm really curious about your opinion, so let me know in the comments what you think about it. What's your opinion? So are you invested in XRP? You say, well, let's wait and see what will happen. All in all, one can say XRP is definitely an outperformer right now. So all the other major altcoins, they really let loose there and reacted to that. What was going on with Bitcoin? XRP thought, let's just watch this from the sidelines for now. We can still dump, but a pump would definitely be nicer. So I'm really curious about that. And otherwise, I can only give you the tip. Besides the video yesterday, feel free to check out this video as well, where I talk about the mistakes I made in 2024 and what you can learn from them. In that sense, see you tomorrow in the next video. Until then, all the best. Bye.